What brings you to the banquet?
The 1715 plate fleet is what I grew up doing, salvaging it. This is my home front right here in Sebastion. Came here when I was 17 years old, worked with my uncle Kip Wagner, and I've been doing salvaging ever since.
Oh, I grew up with treasure, David. Growing up with my dad, every day was a different day. You never knew what was going to happen. I'd come home and there'd be coins all over the place, and we had visitors always coming in wanting to talk to him and exchange information. We were also able to go out on the boat and go diving, so I was able to grow up in it. It was a wonderful childhood to have.
I became involved in treasure with Bob and Margaret Weller about 15 years ago, and I currently am a permit holder for the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary, and I'm looking for 2 shipwrecks there, and going through the processes of getting the rest of the permits so that I can start blowing holes and digging, but that's in the Keys. That's the 1733 fleet.
I'm here because my father, Lou Ullian, was one of the original members of Reel 8, and I grew up watching him dive and tell stories about finding the Spanish treasure off the coast of Florida. And so I'm partly here in honor of him and the whole group of men and all the wives and children that supported the scuba divers of that day, and the Fisher family. And I think it's great that so many people, Ben Costello and everybody else who has worked so hard to get this 1715 society going, so that the memories of what these early pioneers did, including people of today that are still finding treasure, won't be lost. The stories are still being told.
I'm a collector these days of books and of coins. And I'm not an active diver anymore. Just don't have time. I run a company, and I'm an avid backpacker. It just doesn't seem like there's time to get underwater anymore.
How would you counsel someone who wants to get into treasure?
I would say dive in 100%. Don't just get your feet wet. If you're going to be a successful treasure hunter, you have to go at it full-fledged and with total commitment. Don't just think of it as a Saturday afternoon activity. You won't get anything.
My dad used to do Kip Wagner's teeth, and he had given Dad a small something back in the 60s, and I've had that. I collect coins across the board. There's U.S. coinage and ancient Roman stuff and different things. And working in a coin store, I see a plethora of stuff. I don't have to go jump in the ocean to grab these coins. People bring them in to me, and I want to be able to really sort of figure out what I'm looking at between the Atocha stuff or 1715 or things that are coming in from other places in the world.
And how are you involved with treasure?
Not enough. I would love to do more. I get the bug every time we have a storm, like thousands of other people. I don't have the detector, but I certainly walk with my eyes on the sand.
I first became interested in 1965, and then because I was focused on my studies in school and college and my career. But then in 1996, I was in the mall in Palo Alto, California, and there was a long line of people, and I asked, why are you online? They said, to see the sunken treasure exhibit, and it was Atocha coins, and I went in to see the exhibit, and that whetted my appetite, and then I bought a book by Bob Weller entitled Sunken Treasure on Florida Reefs, and when I read it, I realized it was the same shipwrecks that Kip Wagner had salvaged in 1965, and they were still salvaging them. And my mom lived in Florida, so when I came to visit her, I had contacted Bob Weller and Ernie Richards, and I met with them, and then Bob let me go out and dive with him, and I found beer cans and fishing weights and almost drowned. And then I started collecting. So my dream would be to find a piece of 8 on the bottom, but in the meantime, I've put together a collection by buying them from the divers and auctions and so forth.
I'm not involved anymore, except I've had a lifelong interest in treasure hunting, and history. You know, I've basically through the years I've kept up with what's been going on in the treasure hunting world, and it's a lot of fun to see some of the people I knew years ago on television.
If you like this video, we're sure you'll love these 3 videos. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. CoinWeek is the #1 source online for all things numismatic. Visit www.coinweek.com to take your hobby to the next level.